Here we go, day 25 of building the smart woodshop. Got to start off by putting on my Atlas apron. I've grown to love that thing. It's probably the best setup I've ever used, particularly for the shop, so I can wear my street clothes and not have to put on construction clothes. So I'm going to start by using my fast break from FastCap and breaking down the edges. But then I realized that was going to take too long, so I decided to set up a little round over bit so I could round everything over. A little spray of wood glide there so the bit cuts smoothly and everything slides across well. So here I'm laying out the screws from the top side, just drilling the pilot holes through, so from the bottom I can just drill the countersink and go right up through. I'm not using glue. This is just like I did all of my other cabinet drawers. No glue, so that I could potentially remodel them in the future by taking them apart. But after the first one, I realized that 28 times was going to take too long. So I decided to go to staples and glue and not worry about being able to remodel them in the future, just build new ones if I needed to. So, stapling the front and back edges was pretty easy because I just pulled them flush, but the sides had to be in, and I needed the staples to go straight in to those 12 millimeter sides without, how the legs of the staples can split out. So I ripped down a little strip just as a guide because I didn't want to spend a lot of time laying it out with a tape measure, and that worked out pretty well. So there's the test fit and ready to go. So now I know how I'm going to build them, and I cleaned up the bench. I had been set up to make the handles before, and now I knew exactly how I was going to put everyone together. So I got rolling, had to do it 7 more times for a total of 8 of the short drawers. And of course, the tall drawer is going to be built exactly the same way, just with taller sides. So I had started by breaking the edges down with the fast break. I use that a lot. That's a fantastic tool. It doesn't matter if it's 1/2 inch or 3/4, 18 millimeter, it breaks down 2 edges at once. But again, I decided that took too long, so you'll see how I do it here after I do the assembly. Like everything, once I know what I'm doing, I try to do the same operation over and over again until I finish that phase. So you'll see it here. I'll go through, sped this up. Obviously, I want you to see the repetition, and it's boring to do it, but it's what you have to do. You can see there, instead of using that long stick, I decided a small stick just along the edge. That's those little tricks that you learn to speed up your work. You take your time doing it right, and then you come up with little tricks that turn out perfect work every time. So now here I am, they're all built, and it's time to do the sanding and such. And I'm using a pretty aggressive 80 grit here, and I've got it set on the grinding. So I should have slowed down, maybe went to 120. I kind of sanded off the surface in quite a few areas. But not a big deal. I was just moving quick, and I don't mind. Then I took that round over bit and I just went all around the drawers. So that's how I was able to speed up that particular process. I wanted not sharp edges and splintery edges everywhere. So every corner, every edge, top and bottom of the drawer got rounded over, even in the little notch for the drawer stops. So here I'm just loading them up. I got all 8 of them done. And before I just, went on to do the other 20, I decided to pull out the 4 big drawers and go ahead and cut the handles. I probably should have done them in the beginning, but I wasn't set up that phase, but I had kind of got it all figured out and made a template. So I set up 2 different routers here, one to cut out the actual, just plunge it in and cut it out, and using the template. And it worked out pretty simple. I was able to just clamp that onto each end. And then I took another router, this new one that I have, this Festool 1000. I really like that thing. I've got the bigger 1400, but I like that 1000. I cut the handles on both ends of all the big drawers. My thinking there is, if I'm working with somebody and we want to haul a drawer full of clamps or the dust walls in, then we could slide it out and one guy grab one side and one grab the other. Well, if you like these videos, give me a like. And if you want to share them with others, that'd be fantastic. And also, you can use the link below for my Amazon store if you want to support the channel. Get your regular deal at Amazon, but they'll share a bit with us. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.